If you're a pastor and you've ever warred with how spiritual fitness really is it just about vanity? Is it just about abs on the beach and abs that whistle in the wind? Or is it something that's actually honoring to God? Well, today I hope to answer that question, and I'm going to teach you what I call the Solomon method. I've helped over 500 pastors to get in the best shape of their lives over the last couple years. And from that, I've learned some big spiritual lessons, and I want to share those with you today. And I'm going to show you the Solomon method itself. Then I'm going to show you the way that it ties into fitness. And all I'm doing today is just walking around the church property. And at the very end, I'm going to show you our sunken pirate ship. So let's talk about the Solomon method itself. Solomon wrote 3 books of the Bible. And in Ecclesiastes, he gives you the complete method, all 3 pieces. And then in Proverbs, he echoes that. And then in Song of Solomon, he kind of illustrates part of this. And I'll explain more in a little bit. But basically, the Solomon method includes 3 pieces. Number 1 is to enjoy life. All throughout, I think it's 7 times throughout Ecclesiastes, he teaches how to have a happy life. Now, a lot of times we're like, well, happiness fades and joy is what sustains. Yes, but happiness is still something that God gave us. Happiness is an emotion, and God gave us the emotion. So he teaches us how to have a happy life. And he gives us just a few keys. And you'll see it if you study through Ecclesiastes. It kind of builds on it. And it goes from enjoy good food, to enjoy good drink, to enjoy the wife of your youth, to enjoy hard work, and enjoy the fruit of that hard work. Basically, that's how you have a happy life. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be saved or unsaved. If you do those things, you're going to be happy. You're going to enjoy the food that you eat, enjoy the drinks. Got coffee this morning, French press. All of those things tie into a happy life. Now, what's the second piece? The second piece is to enjoy wisdom. Wisdom is the way that you make your life easier. You don't run into as many heartaches and as many difficulties, but instead you live a wise life. And I think we'll get to this in just a second, but there's spiritual wisdom, of course, and that obviously makes everything better. But wisdom itself, if you live a wise life, you will enjoy your life more. I think it makes everything easier that you do. And the third piece is to live life above the sun. Now, the first 2 things anybody can do, even unsaved people, can live a wise life. Even unsaved people can eat good food and enjoy their wife and enjoy hard work. But only saved people, only the redeemed, and only really those who are truly living for Christ can enjoy life above the sun. So all of these things are great concepts, but how does that tie into fitness? Well, fitness is really actually very simple when you look at it through the Solomon lens. The first thing, you enjoy your life. You have a happy life. Now, if I were to tell you how to get in shape, and I gave you, this prescription, and I was like, you have to eat less, move more, calories in, calories out, things like that. Most people think of that and they think of fad diets, or they think of Whole30, or they think of 75 hard, P90X, or my favorite, insanity. Like, that doesn't sound easy. There's nothing about that sounds enjoyable, except for maybe the result at the end. And then you get into the whole self-improvement, delayed gratification versus instant gratification, the dopamine hits. Then you go down that rabbit trail and you're like, well, I have to do a dopamine detox. So you sit in your room alone for 3 days. All of these things basically mean no happiness, no enjoyability, and fitness now becomes a burden, not a blessing. I don't think that God gave us our bodies to steward so that they can be burdens. In fact, that's why I believe we need to get in shape. Every Christian should be in shape, because your body is God's temple. No, you're not. That your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost and not your own. Therefore, glorify God in your mortal bodies. So If that's what we believe and that's what we'll preach from the pulpit, then why do we treat fitness like a burden? Why do we treat taking care of our temples as if it's something only for difficult, seeking, David Goggins, run 100-mile kind of people? Probably just because we don't enjoy life. We've forgotten that Solomon taught us how to do this. So then the question is, well, if I want to enjoy my life and I want to be in shape, then how do I do that? Well, that's where wisdom comes in. There are different approaches to training. Some of them are wiser than others. Some of them are just foolish to start with. If I told you to get up and go run a super marathon, a 100-mile race, that would be foolish. And almost nobody could just do that. So is there a wiser way to get in shape? Is there a wiser way to steward your body? I think there is. And that's where you need to have some wisdom, you need to have some understanding about what you're doing in fitness in order to make it worth doing. So where do you learn from these things? Well, obviously YouTube is a great resource. I have some free resources. And if you're a pastor and you've not already joined, you can hop in the Fit Pastor Blueprint. The link is in the description. It's the very top thing. And I have a complete guide, a complete course for everything that you need to get in shape. But whether you listen to me or anybody, the problem is you need to find something that is a sustainable approach, something that's not just 30 days, something that's not a 21-day challenge, something that you can live out, something that is a lifestyle. And if you can do that, now you have found part of the wise training method. So what's the next piece that makes it wise? Well, it needs to get you results. If it's just wise and it's sustainable, anyone can do like one push-up a day their whole life. I think it's maybe Get Smart, and in the middle of it, they're like, what's your training routine look like? And it's like 1,000 push-ups and like 49 sit-ups and like blah, blah, blah. And he gives all these big numbers and the guy looks at him and smirks. And he finally works him down to 2 push-ups and a deep breath. And he nods and he's like, okay, that's good. Well, that's how a lot of people actually do their fitness. They think if they go do their Pilates class once a week and if they walk a mile, then somehow they're fit. They're not. They're probably still going to die sooner. They're probably not capable of doing everything that they would like to be able to do physically. And they're definitely not strong, definitely not a capable protector of their family. So there's a fallen tree out here. Look at that. Crazy. So fitness can be wise. And it's not just something that's sustainable. It's something that is results oriented. And that's where I ascribe to the evidence-based training approach. And you can go down that rabbit trail if you want, but essentially it's find things that have been proven to work, not things that are theoretically proven to work, and then do those things. So I'll give you an example. Sets with more than 12 reps in them tend to cause more muscle damage, therefore making recovery difficult. And what that means is that as you try to recover, as you try to get stronger, you end up actually working against yourself. So doing those high rep sets actually works against you, despite many people thinking that it would work in your favor. More is not always more. So that's just an example of a more wisdom-based approach to fitness. And then that brings us to our third piece, the above the sun concept. How do you train above the sun? Well, I think you train above the sun by making your fitness not just about a shape or a weight or some kind of routine or even sticking to your routine. But I think fitness is spiritual when you view fitness as stewardship. What you are doing in your life is reflective of how you view your life. Just ran into a spider web. Oh, it's a big one. Goodness. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. There he is. There's the spider. I don't know if you can see it. Ugh. So how you live your life reflects, this is crazy. How you live your life reflects how you view your life. Do you view your life as God's life that He's entrusted to you? Or do you view your life as your life that you're going to give back to God someday? When we get our crowns in heaven, is that when we give it back? or is it now? Is now the time? And if you view now as the time and you view fitness as stewardship, then now your temple really is God's. And it's not just God's until you die, it's God's from now all the way up until you're in heaven. So why would you not steward your body as unto the Lord now? And then let me take it a step further. What are you teaching your family by your lifestyle, by your fitness, by your diet? Are they learning that their bodies are God's? Are they learning to steward their bodies? Are they learning from you how to be a faithful example, both in body and in spirit? And if not, then you need to change that example. So that brings me to my conclusion. Fitness is stewardship. And if you want to train the way that I believe Solomon would have trained, then you're going to do things that are enjoyable. You're not going to just crash diet or cut out everything that's supposedly bad for you. And, like sugar, some people say makes you fat. So you cut out everything that's enjoyable in life and blah, blah, blah. You're going to live something wisely. You're going to do fitness wisely. And that means you're going to actually train things that are sustainable and that get you results. And finally, you're going to live above the sun. You're not going to live just temporarily. You're not just going to live to have abs that whistle in the wind. You're going to live for a purpose that is beyond you and that is more than just today. So hopefully you're doing that. And if you are, congratulations. I would still love you to join the Fit Pastor Blueprint to be an example and encouragement to the other guys in here. But if you haven't done that yet, then maybe now's the time. Because now's the time for me to show you our sunken pirate ship. The problem is, I don't know if you can actually see it from in here. Huh. Okay. Well, we walk through and go on an adventure. Aha! We found it. Let me see if I can spin this around for you. Here is our sunken pirate ship. I built that a few years ago. It's actually about 10 feet long and it's not a pirate ship, but it felt like it and it looks like a treasure under there because it's a treasure in my heart. So anyway, hope you are having a great day. Hope you join the Fit Pastor Blueprint. And more importantly, I hope that you steward your body as unto the Lord. You set an example for your family and your church and you honor him everything that you do while following the Solomon method. Have a great day. See you next time. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.